Hello everyone, and welcome to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Tomb Raider. Now, Tomb Raider, well, I'm sure all of you know about Tomb Raider. I'm going to tell you what I know about Tomb Raider. I played about half of the original game, I played about 5 minutes of the third game, and I've watched the films. And that's it. And I originally wasn't going to play Tomb Raider because I got a lot of really bad press. People were really complaining about how they portrayed Lara Croft in this game. And honestly, I think that they were all wrong. I'm going to go ahead and say I think that they were all very much wrong. I love this game. I played it all the way through. Got 100% completion. As you can see, it says continue here. Because I wasn't going to Let's Play it because I figured it was going to be a sucky game, but I played it all the way through and I loved it. I think it's awesome. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's awesome as we go through the game with the character progression and growth and things like that. Super important stuff when it comes to a prequel game that shows how a character that we all have come to know and love has become what they are. So because of that, we're going to go ahead and get started here. So let's go ahead and hit new game. Now, see, as you can see, on 11/28/2013 at 14:19, I got 100% completion. I completed 100% of everything. Um, Really awesome, and I'm going to do it again. And it wasn't that long ago, of course. It wasn't that long ago. This has started, like, next day. So, unlike a lot of games where I either play them after I haven't played them for a very long time, or I blind Let's Play them, this is one of the few games that I'm going to play, and then instantly go back and play again, because the game is super duper long, it is super duper fun, and the story is really, really awesome. And the characters, all of the characters are really, really well written, and I think that's wonderful. So we're going to create a new save, and I did normal last time. And I want to give you guys a heads up. QuickTime events are done very poorly in this game, in my opinion. Once you get used to them, they're a little bit too easy, but before you get used to them, you get dead a lot. So if I die a bunch of times because of QuickTime events, don't believe because it's because I suck. Believe it's because the way the QuickTime events are built aren't 100%, in my opinion. They're made to look like a random button is going to be selected, but it's always the Y button. The Y is like the action button. So all they'd have to do is say hit Y, except they do it to where it's like, okay, we're charging up, and hit Y now. And so it's yeah, you'll have to see it. I'll screw it up at least once, I'm sure. So we're gonna go normal just because we want to have some fun with it. I don't want to challenge myself too much. So we'll just do normal mode and let's go.
A famous explorer once said that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are. I'd finally set out to make my mark, to find adventure. But instead, adventure found me. In our darkest moments, when life flashes before us, we find something. Something that keeps us going. Something that pushes us.
Alright, our story begins. Watching the video and everything and listening to the audio, I may have to adjust the gamma a little bit, as well as the voice audio versus background music for you guys, so that may come in the next video, I think, or I may do it here in a minute. I think I'll do it in the next video, just to see how this one looks. So if this one's a little dark for you guys, or if the audio's a little off, don't hate me. I forgot to adjust it before we started, and I didn't realize how dark it was until I was just watching it, and I was like, that's really dark to me, so it's gonna be like almost black when I get it uploaded, so. But this isn't ominous or scary or anything, being hung upside down and among other things which may or may not be bodies. Alright, so now it's time to control the person, our Lara person here. Now, I want you guys to take a notification on her current mental state, as well as her need to call for other people. Keep an eye on that, because as the game goes, as we go through the game, as we progress through the game, that's gonna change. It's gonna, and you just have to keep an eye on it. I know a lot of people were saying that Lara. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why people were saying that Lara was like needy and like she always needed other people to help her, because I don't know where they're getting that from. Maybe they were playing the wrong version of the game or something. Ow. Alright, so right off the bat we get to see how Lara handles pain and... Ow. Being wounded. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure that's hardcore, because if I landed on a chunk of rebar that stabbed me in the side, like 2 inches from what I assume to be my kidney, I would, I would be crying like a girl. And then ripping the thing out of me? No. Alright, so we have a corpse here. Unknown person. Nobody that Lara knows, of course. And I believe we can grab... No, we can't grab the torch yet. Okay. Ah, here we go. We can grab a torch. So now we have a torch. Yay, go us. Now take a look around here. Take a look at these skulls. Now, I want you guys... I do have a few complaints about the game, but we're going to go back for a second. Yes, that was loud. I do have a few complaints about the game, but they're not about gameplay, and they're not about Lara's story or anything like that. But I want you guys to kind of keep an eye on all these skulls. Just keep a count of the number of skulls that we see throughout the game, and then do the math. Because there are there are a lot of skulls.
What happened to you?
And since each skull has to belong to a person. I mean, there is a skull that looks like it belongs to a Spaniard there, which is kind of cool that they showed that. But you have to wonder, how many people have been murdered on this island and used as skull parts? I mean, in all honesty. So yeah, keep an eye on the skulls. Count the skulls. Honestly, really, it's really intense.
Oh, no, we must have heard me.
Yeah, it must have heard me. Whoever he is, he must have heard me.
Oh, damn it.
Now, Lara's really interesting because she's a very intelligent person, and you have to know that she's been trained, like by her dad, who was a famous explorer, and by all the people that he hung out with who are also explorers. She's been trained and taught how to survive. It's just up to this point in her life, she's never had to. So you have to remember that. I think a lot of people forgot that, having known her from other games. That she has never had to actually do the things she knows how to do. So if people are all complaining, being like, oh, you know, Lara is just... she's not realistic because of whatever. She really is realistic. She's just not... she's not well practiced, is really how that works. Okay, here comes a quick time event. Why they did it this way, I don't know. So you guys are gonna hear the click, click, click a little bit.
Oh, that was close. Oh, shit, that was close.
Yeah, trying to help me. Look at all these skulls! Look at the skulls!
Just keep moving.
See, so... I'm going to mention something about that guy in a little bit, because he is really interesting to me. I'll tell you guys why when we get to that point in the game, because to the end of the game, to the very end of the game, that guy has never left my mind. In all honesty, I never once thought to myself, oh, you know, that's just a placeholder character or something like that. His story is. I know you guys know me. I know you guys know me. You guys may not know me that well. You may be new to the channel. Or you may not have watched some of my Let's Plays, but I love weird stories.
Need to find a way out.
Yeah, this is really interesting. The ping, yeah, I call it the ping beacon. It's basically her instincts. You can hold it if you want to, but after a while, what you end up doing is you use it as sort of a ping to where you like sonar out things that you need, especially when you're hunting for 100% completion. But yeah, as I was saying, if you guys know me, you absolutely know that I love stories or parts of stories that are incomplete, that make your imagination go wild. And that guy is like a perfect example of that. He is absolutely a perfect example of that. And I will show you guys, or I will tell you guys how here in a minute. So here's our first puzzle. It's not really, okay, that's really weird. It's not a great puzzle, but a lot of the puzzles in the game are really easy to figure out. They are. It takes a couple seconds. You have to use all the parts and stuff in the puzzle to figure it out. But it is really, honestly, they are really easy to figure out. So never in the game was I ever so stumped that I didn't know what I was doing, or did I ever get so stuck that I was just like, oh, what do I do here? What's going on? I don't understand. I was usually always able to figure out what to do. All right, yeah, this is one of those times. All right, Lara, let's go. So you'll find a lot of a feel for Assassin's Creed in here with the jumping and everything, but I've recently been playing Assassin's Creed again, and I will tell you that between the two, Lara controls 10 million times better. She really does. Because I don't know if it's just because they know where you're going to jump, and so there's not that free-form movement that you normally have to get with Assassin's Creed, you know, because there's less things to jump on. That might be why, but she controls so much better, and very rarely do you have a moment when you can't make it through. Sorry, I was trying to read the side of that plane, but unfortunately that didn't work for us. I think it was American. Alright, we're going to get a lot of this in the game where you're falling down a lot and have to keep yourself from getting crunched. There are a few times I may die there as well. Again, quick time events or quick time... I won't call them quick time events because there's very little in the whole pushing the button not to die thing. But there are events where you have to make decisions, and if you don't make the right decision, you will die very, very easily. So we have some indication of what you'll find in the level here. Yeah, let go, you bastard. Alright, here it is. Yes. Crunch. So, as you can see, that gentleman did not survive. So, my curiosity is, who the hell was he? It never gets explained who he is. I know that... Okay, we have to do this. My torch! Ah, crap. Alright, we need to climb. There it is. Yeah, so this is the only time you will ever have this QuickTime event in the whole game. I guess they put it in there just because. But, it is interesting, and it's not hard. Again, QuickTime events, like the pressing of Y thing, those ones kind of suck because of how, as you saw, how they're implemented, but it's always the Y key, even though it looks like it may one day be a different key. It never is. It's never X or it's never B. It's always Y. But they implemented it as if it was supposed to be a different key there. Never happened. Never happened. Oh, Lara, you made it through hell and you came out the other side. Look at you. And you still have your digital watch. Douglas Adams would be proud. Not to make light of the situation, but yeah. So that kind of gives you a walkthrough of almost the entire history of the island right there. You had the World War II planes, you had the modern day buoys, you had the woman who was strung up who had modern clothes, jeans and shirt, and then you had the shipwrecks. And so like this whole thing basically tells you that this island has a history, and it's all visual. You know, you have plane there, you have a ship here, you have like newer ships there, ships from World War II with guns, a trawler out there, and then we have Tomb Raider right there. Totally awesome. Very visual in that regard. And you get experience for leveling up. So there are some RPG style elements on it. I will tell you that I have very favorite stuff, very favorite weapons in this game. I also have a very favorite way of harming people. And for that, I guess you guys can cope. I'll try to mix it up because there are some achievements that I didn't get last time around because I didn't use specific weapons. But I may mix it up for you guys so it's not boring.
The lifeboat. Where are they?
Yeah, I think I am going to have to fix the audio. Alright, so there's a lifeboat from our ship, even though there's like a bajillion ships out there. It's like the newest piece of flotsam on the shore. Now you might say that there's a possibility that Lara probably wouldn't be moving with a wound like that in her side, but she is holding it, and adrenaline is awesome.
Take it slow.
Because adrenaline basically makes your brain forget your body's even injured. And I'm pretty sure that right about now she'd be running high on it. I mean, I would be running high on it. Oh, careful. So there's a lot of really interesting training in this game. Like this right here is sort of a tutorial, but not really. It goes to show, like, the first time Lara has to cross a really rickety tree bridge thing, she's all like super cautious and super careful because that's how she was taught to do it. By the end of the game, you're just running across those things like you don't even care if it falls out from under you. You know, not to give it away or anything, but it is really wicked sweet. And again, it's something you have to really pay attention to when it comes to character progression. A character progresses not simply by changing their clothes or getting a hardened look on their face, you know, the 1,000-yard stare kind of crap. A character progression comes from many things, and that comes from, like, simply being more comfortable by performing a task you've repeated 20 or 30 times, especially when under gunfire. Alright, so we have an American fighter plane here, I assume American. See, what's really odd is this is a short-range bomber, not a long-range bomber, so it must have come from a carrier. So, but then again, there is a chance that there's a carrier around here somewhere, too. Alright, so we gotta jump. It's been here quite some time, considering there's a tree growing through it. Again, this is one of the things when I was talking about, I do have some complaints about the game. My biggest complaint is about timing, not my timing or the game's timing or like quick time event timing, but timing of like the history of the island. Like, here's a World War II plane, say 60 years, and it has tree roots growing in it, like all through it. And maybe that would happen. I don't know. I don't know the growth rate of trees in southern Japanese seas, but in all honesty, I don't think that's 60 years worth of growth. I think that's more like 100 years worth of growth. But you know, that's just something. That's just a visual thing that I noticed. There's also some weathering later on in the game where it's like, you know, it's raining and as you can see the walls are like just coated in water and it's just running down. And there are some murals and stuff that are under that kind of water and they're not worn down even in the slightest, when you know that over the course of 100 or 1,000 years that this thing's supposed to be like that, that mural would have been completely worn away. So, you know, this visual stuff like that, that's my biggest complaint. I have absolutely no complaint about Laura's character progression either. Alright, let's check it out.
Sam! They must have come this way.
Well, yeah, but you don't really want to shout out here. Yay, camera! Okay. And matches! Awesome! And a radio.
Sam? Roth? Can anyone hear me? Got to find them.
Alright, still wounded, but we have a radio. Now, here's the thing when I was talking about changing their clothes. If you take a look at Lara right now, and I know that I'm going to pronounce her name incorrectly several times. I'm going to say Laura as well as Lara. It is L-A-R-A, I know that, so you guys can like not yell at me in the comments. But if you take a look at her outfit right now, she's just wearing a gray tank top, and then her, what I assume to be, supposed to be cargo pants. And you just take a look at her. She's kind of clean, I mean, she got all banged up, like she's wounded on her side there, but now she has the radio on her hip, right? And if you take a look, once again, as we go through the game, you will find that her progression isn't just about... Ah! Ow. Isn't just about changing clothes or getting a hardened look, but also about how she interacts with the environment. Now, I will complain about that fall, though, because of all the falls in the game, that's the one I think should have broken at least 3 of her bones. I don't know why they made that one such a harsh fall against all the others that you experience, but that is like one of the worst. Ah, creepy symbols. But we have a shelter, sort of. Dark place under here. Now, I will tell you that because of the guy punching me in the face and all the dead bodies and bones and sacrificial altars, throughout this entire game, I was playing it like you'd play Resident Evil. I was being cautious around everything. Every time it'd be like, go to place X or go to place Y, I would always be like, I wonder if someone's going to be there killing me. And so I was always like being super cautious around every corner. And it gets worse as you go through the game, too. They never let that feeling go away. And that is really awesome, that feeling stays with you throughout the game. That feeling that there's always going to be someone around the corner.
Please respond.
Time to get some stuff. There we go. Now, here's where obvious cliche is obvious. Last match in the box. I don't think so unless Sam is a heavy old school pipe smoker. I mean, honestly, and Sam's a chick, so there's that. Unfortunately, they do have the whole starting a fire with the last match in the box cliche. But of course, it's supposed to be about survival. And you'll understand that as you go through the game. Like, early on, Laura's like, I'm really hungry, I need to eat, so you have to, like, hunt a deer or something, but then as you go through the game, that never comes up again. Mostly because you find food and supplies everywhere. Nice and cold. Unfortunately, the wind there would be really bad.
Here's the soon-to-be world-famous archaeologist, Lara Croft, in her native habitat. She's on the hunt for the lost kingdom of Yamatai, home to the fabulous Himiko, mythical Sun Queen, and ancestor of yours truly.
Sam, this is serious.
Oh, sweetie, I know. I'm just trying to lighten the mood here. Everyone's so on edge. What are you so worried about?
I'm close to something. I'm sure of it. I just don't know if the others will listen. Or even if they should.
Lara, you know this stuff better than anyone. Seriously, I'm not just saying this to make you feel better. I trust you, Roth trusts you. You got this. Now let's take a break, okay?
Okay. And Sam, thanks.
She's not always this serious, you know?
Come on, tackle it! No, it's your chance!
How can you suggest I'm not serious about this expedition, Lara? It's not just Sam's family funding us. I put my savings on the line, too.
We've all got some kind of stake in this. The funding won't last forever, Whitman.
That's precisely why we should push east, not west.
No one believes Yamatai is that far east. The books simply don't support it.
Well, whoever wrote those books never found Yamatai.
I've talked to Roth about this. There's no point in following in other people's footsteps, Dr. Whitman.
I refuse to bet my reputation on your hunch. I'm the lead archaeologist here.
And when were you last in the field without a TV crew behind you?
Got 30 years experience, 2 PhDs, 1 in East Asian history. So why don't you just stick to boats, Mr. Grimm?
Ship, Dr. Whitman. It's a ship. You don't need a PhD to know
Look,
that.
going east will take us directly into the Dragon's Triangle. That's where we need to go.
Lara, my little bird. I'd follow you almost anywhere, but that place has a bad energy.
Bad storms, more like. Makes the Bermuda Triangle look like Disney World. Sign me up.
The stories about Queen Himiko say she could summon storms. Myths are usually based on some version of the truth. What if Yamatai was somewhere in the triangle itself?
Well, look, this is the satellite imagery from inside the Dragon's Triangle.
That doesn't look good.
If it's wet, I can sail on it.
Oh, don't tell me you're seriously
Reyes is right. We don't have the funds to piss about. It's now or never. Lara's offering fresh ideas and a plan. I'm the captain here. It's my decision. We're going into the Dragon's Triangle.
Why am I even here?
And in that scene, that one little video, you got to saw all the characters' interactions with each other, how they felt about each other, even Lara's state of mind at the very beginning, where she knows she's smart enough to figure out where things are, but she's so new at all of this, but she's unsure if all the people who are seasoned, all the people who have been doing this for not hundreds of years, but all these people who have been doing it for years would listen to her. And that's super duper important. Alright, we do have to find something to eat, Lara, but I am going to cut this video a teeny tiny bit short, not a huge amount, about 5 minutes I think, because this is a perfect time to pause. It's also a perfect time for me to adjust the gamma for everybody to make sure it's not super dark for the rest of the game now that we got the intro out of the way. Also adjust the sound so that we can hear Lara speak. I'm overthinking and I just need to say it and move on. So we can listen to her speak, listen to conversations that may occur so that any crescendo style music does not get in the way. So once again, I would like to thank you all very, 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 very much for joining me, 4 Kilobyte Short, on this Let's Play of Tomb Raider. And I will see you next video.